Okay, so this is actually my fourth attempt. Why do I bother? Well, because I think to see evil and say nothing makes you complicit. You know, like they say, all that evil needs to succeed is that good men do nothing. Well, good men have been standing up for a long time, but we're told they're crazy. And to those of you that are just now figuring out that something's not right, yeah, well, I fell down this rabbit hole 9 years ago. And I've been trying to raise the alarm. But, of course, getting teased about tinfoil and whatever. The other 3 tries, it sounds insane. So I'm going to give you some things to look up. Why would you want to do that? Well, basic reason. Do you want your grandchildren, your children, to be free? Because that's where we're at. How do I make you see this? Well, let's start with these tests. Okay, everything is being run off these tests. Corman-Drosten report. Review report. It says review report Corman-Drosten. CORMAAN hyphen dash DROSTEN. Corman-Drosten. There's a lawyer named Dr. Reiner Fuellmich. His last name, Fuellmich. I've linked all this before. I keep forgetting to tell you about the lawyers. But I'm being told my links aren't getting through. Why is that? Why am I having such a hard time showing you what I can very easily look up and show you? I'm telling you what to type in. Dr. Wolfgang Wodarg. It's Wodarg. He's a German epidemiologist, former head of public health. Dr. Mike Yeadon, Yeadon. They are petitioning the government. Part of their petition is antibody-dependent enhancement or amplification. They give you the abbreviation ADE, but they tell you antibody-dependent amplification. Either one. There's a protein called SYNCYTIN. Syncytin? You need to look at that. Then I have a report that I looked up. I just typed in safety surveillance COVID-19. It's an FDA 17-page report. Look at page, oh crap, I think it was page 17. Maybe it's more, how big is the report? It's a 27-page report. And you want to look at page 17. And it will say this. Can you see it? FDA, possible adverse events. Great big old long things. Can you see any of that? You won't believe me if I tell you, so you need to look it up yourself. The other thing that my youngest boy had problems with, that I tried to make a video showing you I can't even say the word. There's words I can't even say to be able to get through to you. So here I am making an ass of myself. But hopefully you will see that I am serious. And I'm not the only one screaming out here. A lot of the voices that I would otherwise share to you have been silenced. And speaking of, we're almost there. Let me see. Hold on. Oh, there's an Italian report that came out. I don't know when it came out, but if you go to highwire.com, he's been speaking to specialists. He's been reading papers. An Italian report came out to say that blood samples from September show this in it. He had a doctor in June. If you watch some of his past videos, in June he did a little flashback. There was a doctor that said it can be found in the blood supply, stored blood, back to September of October, or he said even as early as August, but September of last year. Either way, even if it didn't start until, and I know damn well it started in January because my mother had it. It's been circulating for a year. If you were going to have gotten it, you'd have got it by now. Now, I know people are getting sick. I know that. I know people are dying. Have they told you that type A blood has a harder time? My sons and I are all type A positive. My husband's type O. They have less trouble. But he's got COPD, he's morbidly obese, and he's pre-diabetic. So like, Obi, get out of there. So like every risk factor there is, no, I don't want it at my house either. Everybody that's had trouble, that's been tested at the hospital, is low on this. Every night, 5,000 IU. I have chronic sinus issues. This time of year, I'm almost always sick. I've been taking Claritin every day since August, knowing that October, almost every year, I have bronchitis. Well, I managed not to have it this year. Kind of cool. Regular old saline spray. Keep your mucous membranes intact. That's the main reason you get sick. And especially if you've got bleeding sinuses, which most people do this time of year, to have that thing over your face, you need to be changing it at least every 2 hours. At least. Other things to look up. I will try to link. For some reason, we're in an information war. I'm being told my links aren't coming through. I link in the comments of the video. Go to YouTube. If it doesn't show the comments directly under the video, it will show the comment. You have to scroll down and it'll show you the comments. But if you hit my name, it'll show playlists under my name. Dr. Reiner Fulmick, I have in the playlist under lawsuits. It's a Spanish title because his regular version was kicked off. I'm surprised the other one, but it's in English. There's Rocco Galati, who's a Canadian lawyer who's suing the entire establishment, including the one that wears the thing. There's a lot that you're not being told. You're being painted this picture by the Mockingbird media. That's another one to look up. There's a documentary called Out of Shadows that'll explain to you why they all say the same thing. What are the most commercials that you see? In general, but especially during the news. That's who pays. That's where they get their check from. Now, both of my grandparents, my mom's parents, both were pharmacists. Back when it was still botany, mostly botany, compounding. As Grandma said, the farther you get from nature, the worse it is for the body. We are so far from nature. And these scientists that have been screaming for years, they've made a mockery of science. If you understand science, see, Grandpa tried to get me to be a pharmacist, but I don't have a head for chemistry. I can do it, but I struggle, and I'm not going to do something that somebody's health is going to depend on that I struggle in. I was accepted to the nursing program, but that's when my life fell apart, and well, I went and found it in Virginia. I can explain to you a lot of this, but you're not going to listen to me. What does a 3 times college dropout know, right? What I'm trying to tell you is you're being painted a picture to keep you in fear. What have we been told for years is like the leading cause of disease? Stress. Stress, either chemical or physiological, is the number one reason for disease. Well, I think people are pretty stressed out. All of our agencies, the ones that are supposed to be overseeing, have been captured by the entities that they're supposed to be overseeing. It's a revolving door. There are lawsuits being won. Watch thehighwire.com. The episode he did that came out on Thanksgiving is the one that it's long. It's like an hour and a half. But to say that our future depends on it is not being hyperbolic. People have been screaming about this. I know I've been for 9 years trying to get your attention. What was coming is here. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to say we need to say no. Not only no, but hell no. Because if we don't, they've already written out what they have planned for us. And I've been trying to share that with you too. This isn't somebody else is going to take care of it. I told you, I want what's best for you because I want what's best for me. Our laws are so far from what they were supposed to be. Speaking of which, there is a fantastic teacher. Her name is Chris Ann Hall. She's a constitutional attorney, and for the last 7 years, I think, she and her husband have been traveling the country teaching the Constitution. She's good to listen to. If you're not a Christian, ignore that. I don't care what religion you are, or what religion, whether you have one or not. If you don't have one, do you at least believe in yourself? Do you believe in your own bodily sovereignty? It's all at stake. Also in the playlist under my name, there's old Billy Boy. You really need to watch that. That's rather concerning. It kind of makes you wonder why he's still free. And if you James Corbett is a fantastic researcher. He has all the links and stuff at his website. How Big Oil Conquered the World and why Big Oil Conquered the World. Watch those and it'll explain all of this. All of it. It's 3 hours worth of watching, so watch the first one and that'll give you a pretty good idea. But the second one is 2 hours. First one is an hour and 11 minutes or something. That'll give you a pretty good idea. Second one just goes more in depth. They've taken over everything, and it all goes back to one man. This information has been out there. We've all tried to, but we're called nuts. I'm not nuts. I care about people, and I see people being harmed. I'm being harmed. My children are being harmed. We're all being harmed. And I'm trying to say, no. I do not consent.